Hello Book Warriors, this is Joe Rees Books and my name is Joe, and apologies for not being in front of the camera in like 4 weeks. I've just been having one of those months and I have been sick the last couple of days, so if I sound groggy or anything like that, it's because I'm still sick. So anyway, let's moving on, and this is my May book haul. In this haul I have 12 ebooks and 7 physical books. And I'm going to reverse my roles this month, so I'm going to show my ebooks first because I have more of them, and I'll then show my physical books. So the first books I got for my Kindle was a trilogy, and that was the Beautiful Demons trilogy by Sarah Gannon. And I read the premise of these books and I just thought it would be pretty interesting and different, and it just seemed to be good for the price they were, and I think they were free, so why not? Books I got on my Kindle this month were The Grimm Diaries by Cameron Jantz, and these are 6 prequels to all different types of fairy tales. And so the ones I had here are Snow Shy Blood Red, Cinder Cinder, Ashes Ashes, and Beauty Never Dies. And these are all prequels to some of the favourite fairy tales about, such as Snow White, Red Riding Hood, Cinderella. I'm not sure what Ashes Ashes is, I can't remember. And then of course Beauty Never Dies, which is a prequel to Beauty and the Beast, I believe. So the next book I got on my Kindle was The Fairy Guardian by Rachel Morgan, and this is a story about a fairy who lives in coexistence with humans, but one day a human boy goes into the forest where the fairies live by following her because he can see them, and turns out that it's now a law broken and she has to try and fix it. So it sounds pretty interesting, and I think there might be a little bit of romance in this as well, but I'm not sure. So the next book I got on my Kindle was X Generation You Don't Know Me by Brad Mangala. I'm pretty sure I butchered his name, but this is a superhuman, superpowered story, and this is a complete series. Now this is the first book in the series, but there's also other books in the series, and I'm hoping this book will be quite interesting, and I'll buy the rest of the books in the series as they come available. And it should be pretty interesting because I love superheroes. Noting my t-shirt. The next book I got on my Kindle this month was From Gods, and I believe this is a story that's a retelling of the Greek gods. I'm not 100% sure. It was just sounding interesting when I bought it, and it was early on in the month when I got it as well. And this is by Mary Ting, and I believe again this will have romance in it. Not looking forward to the romance part of it, but if the book is good, I'll survive. The next book I got this month was Going Down in Flames by Chris Cannon, and this is dragons and people again, because it's just like dragons and people. It's just awesome. I also got the second book to this as well, and that's Bridges Burn, again by Chris Cannon, and I hope to read these books very, very soon as well. So, moving on into my physical books, again I have 7 books, and the first books I got this month was of a trilogy, and a very high spoken about trilogy on BookTube, and of course that is the Throne of Glass trilogy. I think that's a trilogy more times than I can imagine in a sentence. Of course, I have not read any of these books yet, so I am hoping to read some of these very, very soon. So the next book on my haul was the first book of an adult book I picked up in a long time, and that is Terry Brooks and the High Druid's Blade. And this is an ongoing series set in the same world. There's a lot of books based in this world, but this is a new series of this world. I have not read any of other books by Terry Brooks before, but this book sounds amazing, and I can't wait to get my teeth into it. The next book I hauled in May was The School of Good and Evil, and I've already listened to a sneak peek of this book on Audible, and I kind of loved it, and I saw it in the bookshop and I said, you know what, it sounds pretty interesting, sounds like a fun light read. It's a middle grade novel. Sometimes you just need a break from everyday life and just disappear into a fantasy world for children, and so this managed to come onto my shelf. So the next book on my book haul is Miss Peregrine's The Home for Particular Children. And this is by Ransom Riggs, and what an awesome name that actually is. I don't think that's a real name, but if it's a real name, I want it. But yeah, I wanted to get this book for some time, and I've heard good things and bad things about this book. I haven't heard much about the second book, but this I've heard a lot about, and I saw it and I picked it up, and yeah, so I'm going to read this soon too. The last book I got this month is a book that was on my TBR list for quite some time, and that was Brandon Sanderson's Steelheart. And this is a superhero based book, but the main character is not a superhero, and it's actually about a group of people who manage to get superhero powers, and there's a group of people who don't have superhero powers, and the people who have superhero powers are kind of the villains in this, I believe. And it's just very, very interesting. And the great thing about this book was it only cost me €6, and I was really surprised because I saw this in another bookshop and it was like €15. And to get it for €6 in another shop that's only down the road, that's pretty awesome. Okay, that is all the books I got this month. I have left out some books on my Kindle because there's so many right there, and I'll be here for the next century filming and all, and my voice is starting to go. So on that note, I'll see you all in the next chapter. We can do this. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Cause I don't have that many books. Ha ha.